what is this, October 16th, and I am still getting bountiful harvest, especially peppers. My peppers are coming in now really good. Got more peppers, I think, this year than I did tomatoes. And I had tomatoes, I just been those little squirrel thieves in there eating them. Hi, Chai, how are you? Did you come to sniff and see what Mommy had in the basket, if it might be good? Well, there's some hot jalapenos in there, and all kinds of bells, and Jimmy Nardella, I think, and Mommy's got lots of stuff in there. Those of you that have Polish hens. Okay, let's see, this is the female. Over there, look at his waddles. Come here, Tanuku. Come here, Tanuku. He's made up that name, but it seems to fit him. Come here, Tanuku. Good boy. See those red waddles? Look at those. Is that a boy? Does your females have red waddles like that? My other female doesn't. He must be a rooster. That other one that I thought that Healthy Homestead chick named Hamilton was not a rooster. So I got fooled on that one. And this breed I'm not as familiar with either to know the roosters. They can really fool you sometimes. And these were straight run, the Polish hens that I got, so it could very well be a rooster. But usually from what I've researched, the hats are a little more crazy. So we'll see. No eggs yet. I'm getting eggs from the other one. They're the same age, so As usual, I'm doing several things at once here. But anyway, this is grass-fed ground beef, the good stuff. I don't eat meat every day, but I do like to get it once in a while. And I really need the meat. One of those bodies that really require it. I should probably eat it more than I do. Now let me show you what I'm going to put with this. Okay, squash, some hot pepper, there's a purple pepper, an orange pepper, a green pepper, and then I'm going to wash some of my purple ruffled basil, and I'm going to wash some flat leaf parsley, whatever I can find. I think I'm going to cut up a couple, I don't know, I need my tomatoes. I've got all of these. I need to make maybe a little bit more. I don't know if I have enough tomatoes to even make any more salsa. I've got all the peppers. I don't really think I have enough to make salsa, so maybe I'll cut up some tomatoes. I'll just have to either freeze or dry those peppers, I guess. And then instead of regular onions, I thought I'd use some of my green onions. Are kind of growing crazy, so I'm going to mix this all, cut it all up real fine in my food processor. I'm going to mix it with the hamburger meat, and I've done this before, and then mix some garlic also and salt, and make patties and fry them. They make the best hamburgers you've ever ate. I've mixed a bunch of veggies, cut it up real fine, mix it with the meat, and fry it up. So that's basically the recipe. I'll show you at the end. Okay, I did take all the main stems off the parsley. I'm going to wash these up, and then I'm going to throw it in there, and I'm going to mix it all together, then mix it with my meat, with my spices, and I will probably, you don't have to, but what I will probably throw in is some of Gail's all-purpose seasoning that I make, and you can make that too. I think I have some videos on that, and we'll go from there. I did cut up my green onions too to make sure there was no bugs inside. I don't like bugs. And then I had put this on, and I pull the string, and it dries it. It spins it to get all the excess water off. Let's see how much excess water we have. See all that water that spun off? There was no water in here. I had dumped it out. That's all just off the veggies that I spun out. And I'll rinse that off later and dry it. There's all the veggies finely ground up. Now I'm going to get a bowl, mix it with my hamburger meat, form my patties, and put them in the pan. Okay, now I am going to salt this. I'm going to add more too. Depends what kind of salt you like. You want to add the salt before you mix it, so you get the salt all mixed into all of the meat and veggies before you make the patties. That way you'll have not just salt on the outside, but the inside, and it just, to me, it's more flavorful. There is hardly any fat in this particular grass-fed ground beef, So I may put just a tad of oil in my pan and wipe it down good so it doesn't burn before it gets. It's not like regular hamburger meat you get out of the store that's, you don't need to add any oil because it gives it all its own. This has hardly any in it, this particular brand. Okay, I'm not going to mix the tomato into this. I think I'll make it too runny. But after it's all done, I'll slice some tomato slices and put on my hamburger. I guess you would call it that. Very different than any hamburger you buy. I am going to put a couple eggs in here and mix in, kind of like you do a meatloaf to hold it together. It's almost like meatloaf patties, basically, except I'm not going to put in, like you do in meatloaf, sometimes you put in, maybe I put like sometimes tomato sauce. Some people put ketchup. That's a little sweet for me. I'm not going to put in any crackers or oatmeal or anything like that. This is just the meat and veggies. With the couple eggs to help hold the patties together. And I've made this several times. It is so yummy. So, okay, there's my eggs before I mix it in. I want to mention something. I've seen on a news clip that there's a bunch of store-made herbs that are being recalled because they have salmonella or something like that. Something they have anyway. Folks, it's time to grow our own herbs. They're poisoning ours. Maybe not intentionally, sometimes I think intentionally, but sometimes those things happen not intentionally. It's just big corporations and manufacturers with your food. Things get introduced into the food that's not supposed to be there sometimes. So really try whatever little piece of area you have to grow. Be working on it. Study on it this winter and get prepared and find some dirt and pots or whatever. If you have an area to grow a garden, grow a garden. Really important. So, okay, on with the recipe. Okay, what oil do I use? A lot of different things, but you want to choose things that take high heat, especially when you're frying, which this does. It has avocado, coconut, and just stuff that takes a high heat. Now, sometimes I just use coconut oil, but this time I'm just going to use a little bit of this and wipe down my pan and get my hamburgers frying. But you definitely, when you're frying, want types of oils that take high heat. You want to save your olive oil for things like your salad and get it. And olive oil can be really, really expensive. So because you really want to get the good kind, the extra virgin, but sometimes they lie to you in the stores. If you know somebody you can get it from, like we live in olive country, so we used to go down the road from me is a place where they process the fresh olives from around here. Some of those olives probably came off my trees. But sad to say, she passed away, and I'm not sure what's going now. So I've had to buy some oils. But anyway, that's so much for the oils. Let's go move on. Okay, these look like they're really, really huge. Usually this particular brand of grass-fed ground beef does not shrink. But I have a lot of veggies in here that when the water's cooked out of them, they could shrink, but even not, I don't mind big patties for a nice big sandwich. So this time it felt like my meat was not quite the consistency I like it. A little bit looser, a little bit, I think these particular veggies had a lot of water in them. Hopefully I can cook out some of that water, and with the egg it'll still hold together. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll be okay. For some of you younger women that are just starting, or maybe even older, just starting to do homemaking, when you are cooking, clean as you go. While I'm waiting that to fry, I'm rinsing off my equipment and picking up veggie pieces and this and that. Try to clean as you go. It makes life much easier. Also, I cook this at a very low heat. You don't want to fry it too fast. Cook it low. It'll cook from the inside out. Of course, I like everything well done. But you should always, especially, have your ground beefs well done. But anyway, it doesn't burn outside and raw on the inside. You really shouldn't. You don't want it that way. Some of you might, but I don't. So I cook it on a low heat and let it cook good and evenly to the best as it can. Okay, I didn't have enough for a salad, but I had a few leaves. This is red mustard. I'm not sure what this was. It's from some seeds of mixed stuff that I had. I do have, that'll make great for the sandwich. The bread that I'm using, now, other people that come here, I have white bread for them because a lot of people like their white bread. That's fine, but this one is a flourless sprouted grain bread. It's called Ezekiel 4:9, and usually they keep them frozen in the store, and then I just make sure you keep it in the fridge when you bring it home. And it's really good for you, especially when they're sprouted. The grains are sprouted. It's much better because our wheat has been ruined in America, and it's not good for you. It's hard to digest. Over in Europe, they have the einkorn wheat that is the old wheat that we used to have, and it's much easier to digest, but that's hard to get a hold of and probably very expensive. But if you sprout it, it's better. So this is not only wheat, this bread, but it's got barley and beans and lentils and millet and spelt in it. But it makes a great bread. So there's not a lot of wheat, and what little bit is sprouted, so it's better. It's a little bit better. Okay, here is our patties. I knew from the consistency they weren't going to hold together quite as well, but not too bad. I got them flipped over. They cracked a little bit. It's okay. I'll get them on the bread, and they'll be fine. They're yummy. I'm excited about this. And then I'll scrape and clean up the pan a little and finish frying the rest that I have, and then I can put them away for another day. And I guess I'll wait until I take a big bite and let you see how and hear how good it is. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I have organic mustard and organic mayonnaise that I'm going to put on my organic bread. And my own veggies, my lettuce, and my own tomatoes. So let me finish putting it together. Okay, I'm getting it prepared for my meat and veggie patty. Looking good so far, huh? Look at that big old patty. Those are big pieces of bread, too. Big pieces. Okay, here goes the taste test. Folks, I'm getting off here and finished eating. This delicious sandwich. It is unbelievably good. You gotta try making one of these things. What shall we name it? Y'all give me some ideas what I should name this sandwich. I've been eating it for a while. Something I just threw together. But I don't have a name for my sandwich yet, so in the comment section below, give me a name what you think it should be called, and we'll catch you all later. Bye, y'all.